I-90 beckoning not too far from here, and what it'll do, it'll bring you right to Safeco Field on a very pleasant Friday night. Game 2, Fedora night here at Safeco Field as the Mariners take on the Boston Red Sox. Dave Sims along with Mike Blowers and the Root Sports crew. Glad to have you on board. It'll be J-Happ against Clay Buchholz, and let's take a look at the Boston batting order that will face the lefty, J-Happ.
Floor manager John Farrell leading things off. It'll be Mookie Betts in this Pedroia. Ortiz at DH hitting third. Hanley Ramirez last night 4 for 5, including a double. He has 10 home runs on the year. Napoli Victorino with a home run in last night's ball game. Probably the defensive gem as well. He hit 6. Sandoval did not start, back in the lineup at third, hitting 7th, and it's Bogaerts and Leon rounding out the 9 for the Red Sox. For Happ, take a look at what he has done this year. 3-1 record, a 3.29 ERA, 32 strikeouts, only 8 walks on the year for Jay. Opponent's hitting .248. And our American Family Insurance defense, Smith in left field, Ruggiano getting the start in center, Nelson Cruz out and right, Seager at third base, Miller and Cano playing up the middle, Logan Morrison is at first, and Mike Zunino will do the catching tonight.
Well, here we go. 32-year-old left-hander from Chicagoland area. First pitch in there for a strike to Mookie Betts. Betts hitting at .234. Jay won his last start 7-2 over Oakland, won 5 innings. He's also beat Houston, and he's won at Texas. Down low 2-1. Hunter Wendelstedt has balls and strikes tonight. Bob Davidson at first, Ryan Blackney at second, and Jerry Lane, the umpire, at third. There's strike 2 and 2. Talking to Lloyd McClendon about J-Happ. Has he exceeded your expectations? He's absolutely. It's been great. We knew he was good. Proved to be even better. With a little luck, he would have won 1 or 2 more games. First game, a no decision at Oakland, left with a 2-1 deficit after 6 1/3, 2-run ball, 7 hits.
Well, he has a pretty good blueprint to work off. Elias, who pitched last night, another left-hander, threw the ball extremely well. He went 6 1/3, giving up a run. It's a solo homer to Victorino. Really pitched well in that one, and we saw him use his fastball quite a bit early. Second, third time through the lineup, he started to use his curveball and his changeup a little bit more. And the same type of pitches for Jay. Good fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour with a curveball and a changeup.
Only Felix Hernandez has more wins on this ball club. Felix at 6-0 with a 1.85. Jay 3-1 with a 3.29 ERA. 3-2 pitch. This is playable. Coming in is Ruggiano, and there's one away.
And I think if he commands his fastball, he should be in pretty good shape tonight. Again, the Red Sox hitting just .195 as a team against left-handed pitching. So they've had their struggles against lefties.
Bring up Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman. Saw his numbers there against Jay. Went 0 for 4 last night. Involved in a couple of deflections defensively that proved to be very important for the Red Sox. John Farrell in his 3rd year skipper of the Red Sox, led him to the 2013 World Championship. Pretty good right-hander in his day. Fly ball right field, chasing Cruz back on the track, and he makes the catch.
Take a look at Nelson Cruz out in right field. Right about there, he feels the warning track on his feet, so we know he's getting close to the wall, but good concentration as he makes the play just in front of the right field wall.
Give the fans an idea what it feels like when you're going from the grass to that track.
Well, I think that this is a great warning track here because of the cinder that it has, and you can really feel the texture of the difference. And these guys know they've practiced it, and they know, because they're all different with their strides, how much time they have once they hit the warning track. Some guys it's a couple of steps, some it's a step and a half. And so Nelly, as soon as he hit it, you could see him all of a sudden start to slow down a little bit, knowing the wall was going to hit him shortly. They would make that catch right there in front of it. But that's the reason why they have the warning track out there, to let the guys know they're getting close to the wall.
You know, one of the real old timers, Pete Reesers, where you're running into walls. Back in the 40s with the Dodgers, blew up his career.
And they were brick.
Yep. No padding. His big poppy David Ortiz looks about to.
Mariners have the shift on with Ortiz hitting. So Brad Miller was in left field last night, back at shortstop tonight, but he swung around to the right side. Cano out on the grass, and you can see Logan Morrison right on the line.
2-1. Base hit through the shift. Two outs, one aboard, and he's up Hanley Ramirez.
Pretty good pitch. Fastball down in the zone, but Ortiz able to dig it out. Hits it off the end of the bat. Kind of hooks it through the hole over on the right side of the infield.
David Ortiz, 9-time All-Star and 7-time Edgar Martinez DH Award winner. Here's Hanley Ramirez, a wrecking crew last night, 4 for 5. He enjoys hitting at Safeco Field. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Ortiz not a running threat. Romo not holding him on. Off the fist, strike one. 1-1. Ready with the 1-1.
One of the other things that he has done well is pitch inside. You can see the second pitch on our EQC tracer. That was in on the hands of Ramirez, and then he went right back to the outside corner.
To this point, what's the best team you've seen, pitching staff, starting rotation, working inside consistently?
That's a great question.
I'm trying to come up with an answer. I'm not really thinking anybody in this division. The Mariners are getting better at it. Over the last few years, that's been a problem that they've not done it.
Well, and I think that you're absolutely right. Just mentioning Jay will do it. Of course, Felix, when he feels that he needs to, he will go inside. But it's been one of the things, talking to Rick Waits, one of the things he's talked about with Paxton and Walker both, to pitch inside more.
2-2 pitch. It wasn't that long ago in your time. That was
automatic. It was an automatic.
Count on it every day. Every AB, right?
We're trying to get back to it, and as you mentioned, they've done a much better job this year of it, and I think we'll see it throughout the summer.
2-2 to Ramirez with Ortiz at first, 2 outs. Breaking ball hit, fouled. Ryan Butterfield, smart, staying on the warning track. The third base coach of the Red Sox, dead pull hitter with power, Ramirez, almost in the dugout. Just to watch Larry Boa with Bill Moss out in the left field stands when Gary Sheffield was at the plate. Remember that? 21st pitch coming up right here. Strike him out. Got him. Well, Jay Happ has the leaper just a little bit against Ramirez, but shuts down the Red Sox. Dave's looks good in the fedora. Mariners coming back when we return. Welcome back, everybody. And Hanley Ramirez had a long at-bat. Winds up striking out on a 2-2 pitch to end the first inning. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order that will face Clay Buchholz.
Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Seth Smith going to lead things off. Then it'll be Brad Miller. He's been on a hot streak as of late. Cano, Cruz with 3 hits last night. Seager, Ruggiano, Logan Morrison hitting 7th. See what he's done against Buchholz. 5 for 9 with a couple of home runs. The DH tonight, Ricky Weeks, he will hit 8th, and Mike Zunino rounds out the 9 for the Mariners.
Buchholz's first pitch hit a long way and foul. Game for Smitty leading off for the Mariners. Ground ball to Pedroia. Run away.
Let's take a look at Clay Buchholz. 5.73 ERA. He has struggled at times this year. 13 walks in the 37 2/3 innings that he has thrown, but 43 strikeouts. Good number for him. Opponent's batting average high over 300. And he's given up 3 home runs. And our American Family Insurance defense, Ramirez in left field, Betts the center fielder, Victorino out and right, Sandoval getting the start at third base, Bogarts and Pedroia playing at the middle, Mike Napoli is the first baseman, and Sandy Leon will do the catching.
Brad Miller back at shortstop tonight. He looks at a strike. And he was laughing about first batter last night. Ball found him in left field, his first time in left field. His first reaction was really, then he said, that's baseball. But he said the biggest difference, that's a long run in from left field.
He's right about that. He was able to get his jogging in last night.
Boy, I like my fedoras, but I'm not stacked like that. Holy mackerel. Brad, lot diving catch by Mike Napoli. 2 down.
The converted catcher, Mike Napoli, now playing first base for the Red Sox. Brad hits it hard on the button. Red Sox made a lot of defensive plays on the Mariners last night. As you look at our Alaska Supermo and the swing by Miller down front on a changeup and hit it hard. For Buchholz. Has a good fastball. He'll be in the low 90s with his fastball. Then he'll use a cutter, and he throws it quite a bit, especially to the left-handers trying to get it on their hands. Mix in a curveball and a changeup.
Buchholz pitched well on the road since the start of the 2013 season, a 13-5 record. 3.53 ERAs. You look at Robbie Cano. And his measure of success against Buchholz.
I feel pretty good about it. We showed you the numbers for Morrison too. 5 for 9 with a couple of home runs, but they have a number of guys in their lineup that have hit him well. You have Cano, then you have Cruz 417 with a homer, Miller 333 with a home run, Kyle Seager 3 for 5 with a home run, Mike Zunino only 1 for 3, but that one hit a home run.
Ellie Cruz on deck. Slicing drive left field, going back off the fence. Cano digging for 2. This could be interesting. He is in there with a double. He avoided the tag of Pedroia. Robbie with his 12th double of the season. 2-out base runner for the Mariners here in the first.
We saw Cano hit the left field wall a number of times last year. This one ends up right in the middle of the wall. Bounces right back to Ramirez. He has a strong throwing arm. This is a converted shortstop. And you see Cano diving wide to get his hand in there. Pedroia late on the tag, and a good slide by Cano to get himself in scoring position with 2 outs.
Ryan Blackney, second base umpire out there. Robbie clearly just gets in there. Brings up Cruz. Little buzz in the crowd here tonight. Strike one to Cruz. All he's doing is leading the American League in batting home runs, tied for second in RBIs, total bases leader, slugging leader, extra base leader, fourth in on base percentage. He's real good.
He had 3 hits in last night's ball game.
To Hanley Ramirez.
The Cruz with 3 hits in last night's games pushed his average up to 361. He's had a lot of success against Buchholz.
13 points ahead of the Yankees, Jacoby Ellsbury. 0-2. Delivering to Boom indeed. Look at that, a 7-game hitting streak, hitting at 500, 15 multi-hit games. And most of them he hits hard, but he had a broken bat single last night. He got fooled on a pitch, got one off the end of the bat.
Hey, you have to mix those in too, Dave.
Absolutely. 1-2.
Some interesting numbers against Buchholz. He has the good curveball, and I'm surprised to see the right-handers have really hit him much better than lefties. Over 100 points. Righties hitting 364 against Buchholz. And when runners are on base, he does not like to pitch out of the stretch. 382 batting average against him.
All 2 strikes. Strike him out, tagged by Leon, and that'll do it for the Mariners. They get a 2-out double by Cano and leave a runner stranded. It's no scores. We go to the second inning. Being brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more by your local Ford stores. By the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Visit emeraldqueen.com. And by Alaska Airlines. Enjoy free entertainment on your personal device. Learn more at alaskaair.com. Looking down 4th Avenue towards the ballparks. Clink on your right. And the blue Mariner Fedora night. Good crowd on hand here. 28,172 last night. Much larger gathering here this evening is a high fly ball, deep right center field. Cruz running out of room, is on the track, makes the catch. Against Mike Napoli leading off the second inning. Getting a workout.
Well, one of the things that we saw from the Red Sox in last night's ball game is they were aggressive on the fastball early in the count. This is a first pitch fastball, middle away and elevated. Napoli gives it a good ride, but Cruz able to run it down. That's another one of the things that we've seen from Jay is he not only works ahead of hitters, but they're typically quality strikes, and he likes to pitch down in the zone with his fastball. That one was elevated a little bit.
Strike one to Shane Victorino. Fine night last evening. Base hit to left in the second inning. And a solo home run in the fourth to get the Sox on the board. It was the first run of the ball game.
We talked about his fastball. He'll throw a lot of them. 61% so far this year. See his changeup, slider, and curveball, and almost an even mix of those pitches, trying to keep the hitters off balance. Done a good job of it so far this year.
Check down the first. Bob Davidson said he did not go. 2 balls, 1 strike. Above our heads to our right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Seager takes a look. Got no play. Happen Victorino, teammates with the Phillies. Look out. Jay was with the Phillies in 08, 9, and 10. So is Mr. Victorino. Both part of the Phillies 08 World Championship team, although Happ only pitched in 8 games. Here's a ball slapped in our short right field for a base hit. So good 2-strike hitting by Victorino. Bring up Pablo Sandoval.
Take a look at the pitch. It's going to be a fastball off the plate away after pitching him inside. Give Victorino some credit. It's actually a ball and still able to go out there right off the end of the bat. Soft line drive into right.
Certainly a gentleman who has one of the great nicknames in recent baseball time, Kung Fu Panda. Stays with the Giants. Big free agent signee this year, so the splits. Wide separation.
The switch hitter really struggling, hitting right-handed this year. 0.59 batting average. Didn't even start in last night's ball game.
Came in as a pinch hitter, and he wore one. He got hit just around the belt line. Pinch hitting in the 9th inning. Ready with the 1-0. Fouled off. That is pretty remarkable. 371 left and 059 right-handed. 2 for 34 for Sandoval. As a right-hand hitter.
And Jay going right after him. A couple of fastballs. That last one right in the middle of the plate. He was late on it. 92 miles an hour.
Ball 2 strikes. Infielded double play depth. Shaved him off. Miller. Throw real quick. Oh, and it hit Victorino. Tried to get the double up. 2 away. plenty on the throw.
Well, he made the right decision. He's able to come in and get the ball, and they're going to double him up. And he was talking to Blackney that he ran back, and it was hit on purpose. I'm not sure he was hit on purpose. I think he was just turning around, but it definitely ended up in the lane when Brad was throwing back to first base.
Two outs, man. At first for Xander Bogaerts, shortstop. One for three last night. Got a seventh inning leadoff single to center field. Two 2-0. With Toronto last year, 11 and 11, 5 and 7 in the 2013 season. Went from Houston to Toronto back in the 2012 campaign. 2-1. Satrio happy with Bogaerts. Youngster playing shortstop pretty much every day for him. It's time. Hep ready. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Red Sox now 4-3 on this three-city road trip. 1-2 at Toronto. 2-1 at Oakland. They won last night. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. It's bounced up there. And in with a stolen base. Shane Victorino.
Part of base stealing is running on the correct pitch, and that's what Victorino does. This is a curveball. Jay just spiked it out in front of the plate, so he ran on the right pitch. No chance for Zunino to throw him out, so he gets into scoring position.
Red Sox last night 0 for 7 runners in scoring position. The Mariners were 0 for 6. 1 for 19 their last two outings. 3-2, and now Zunino going out.
Rick Wicks, pitching coach.
Happ looking to put away Bogaerts. 3-2, man at second, 2 outs. Fouled off. Jay began his big league career in the Philadelphia organization. Minor leagues from 04 into the 07 season. 09 he goes 12-4 with the Phillies with a 2.93 and 35 games, 23 starts. Hit well, deep left center field. Ruggiero running out of room, can't get it off the fence. Scoring easily is Victorino, digging for 3 is Bogaerts, and he's in standing up. RBI triple, Xander Bogaerts, 1-0 Boston. Bogaerts' his 12th RBI, his 3rd triple.
This looks like a mistake. I think it's a changeup. And it is right in the middle of the plate. Elevated changeup. Typically, Jay, he wants to keep that ball below the hitting area. And changeup as it hits right off the top of the wall.
Just out of his reach. Brings up the catcher, switch hitter Sandy Leone. It bounces one to Brad Miller. And he throws him out. Red Sox get a run on 2 hits, no errors, leave a man. Coming up for the Mariners in the second inning, it'll be Kyle Seager, Justin Ruggiano, and Logan Morrison. Report tomorrow, partly sunny 59, Sunday 60 degrees, and partly cloudy expected. Felix Hernandez on the mound for Saturday's game, and James Paxton on Sunday. .30-year-old Clay Buchholz's first pitch to Kyle Seager, up high for ball 1. Tough night for Kyle last evening, leaving 4 men on base. Zunino 4 and Ackley 3. Lloyd McClendon said walking around town today, people were offering all kinds of advice on how to score runs and everything. He said, don't tell me, tell my players.
Yeah, they're the ones that have to get it done.
There's a strike, 2-1. Two-1 pitch, and that time granted. Here's the 2-1. Good count for Seager. Leading off the Mariners' second. Justin Ruggiano getting start center field here tonight. He's on deck. Ground ball to Napoli, and he feeds to Buchholz. 1 away. Join us on June 15th during the Mariners-Giants game for the 2015 Mariners Root Sports Tele-Auction. Bid on exciting items like a pregame party in Edgar's Cantina with Edgar himself, or an autographed jersey and baseball bat from Nelson Cruz. All proceeds benefit Mariners Care. Tune in on June 15th. Place your bid. Well, no surprise, the pen has been packed and continues to rock here. Safeco Field. Got a crowd of easily 35,000 tonight. Ruggiano looks at a strike. Luciano in his 5th start at center field.
We're in the early going. It looks as if Buchholz trying to get a feel for his curveball, throwing more curveballs early.
One pitch. Pedroia makes the play, 2 down.
Take a look at the pitch selection for Buchholz. 45% fastballs. He'll also mix his cutter in with a little bit closer to 70% fastballs with the cutter. He'll mix in a changeup and a curveball. It's a pretty good curveball at times. A lot of cutters from him.
Buchholz, a 42nd overall pick in the supplemental draft, June 05. Closing in on 7 years of big league service. Logan Morrison looks to strike 1. Romo 5 for 9 against Buchholz, and 2 of them are home runs. Hit hard but foul. Look out. 0-2.
Ended up breaking his bat. I think that was the cutter in on his hands. Talked about the splits with Buchholz. Right-handers hitting .364, lefties .256, and again, I think it's because of the cutter.
New piece of equipment for Morrison.
Right out of the box.
Recently arrived. Get a quick feel. He's in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and nobody on. Ball 1-2. Reaches out, punches it right center field, and making the play is Mookie Betts. So Buchholz has a clean 1-2-3 second inning. Here at Safeco Field, where the Red Sox lead 1-0 in the Xander Bogaerts' second inning RBI triple. the Wayback Machine takes you back to May 15th, 1973. Nolan Ryan was the first no-hitter of his career. Top of the order for the Red Sox. There's Mookie Betts. First pitch fouls it off as we welcome in Mariners Hall of Fame catcher Dan the Man Wilson. Dan, good to have you with us, pal. How are you?
Great to be here, guys. Very, very well.
Where have you been?
All over the place.
Yeah, I know.
It's been good. Been to a lot of the minor league clubs and checking in on some of the catchers there, and it's been fun. It's been good to see some of these kids develop, and what's going on in the minor leagues has been good.
Anybody jumping out at you?
Obviously, the young man we have down in AAA, John Hicks, who we had a chance to see in spring training.
Seager throws out Betts.
Has really continued to develop and has really come alive with his bat here in the last week or so and hit some home runs, and so obviously keeping an eye on him, and down in AA, Stephen Barron, who another guy we had a chance to see a little bit of in spring training. He's hitting the ball pretty well, and so things are moving. It's been good to see these guys come along a little bit.
You enjoying it?
It's been good. Yeah, it has been. It's been good, and it's fun to see down in the minor leagues just some of the eagerness these guys have, and how bad they want to get to this big league level, and it's good to see.
How about pitchers? Anybody throwing the ball well that you've seen?
Yeah, we've had
fly ball center field for Ruggiero.
Let's see, Landazuri, who's been in AA, has thrown the ball pretty well. I think the two guys they brought up here, Lowe and Beimel, had been throwing the ball pretty well down in Tacoma as well, and so the arms keep coming. It's again, the development, it takes a little patience from time to time, but these guys are coming.
David Ortiz showing money, beat the shift with a base hit to right. First time up. Xander Bogaerts 2-out RBI triple. Difference in this ball game right now. One to Ortiz. Been a good week for Mariner greats here in the booth. We had Jay Buhner, we had Edgar Martinez. Now Dan joins us. 1-1. Popped it up. Jay Happ, an 8-pitch inning. Solid third inning. See if they can get him some runs. Mariners had just one hit. Be Ricky Weeks, Mike Zunino, and then the second time through the order, and Seth Smith. Now you can decorate your room with some boom. It's Nelson Cruz Poster Day, courtesy of Aquafina, this Sunday when the Mariners wrap up the series with the Red Sox. All kids take home the new Nelson Cruz poster. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Ricky Weeks to lead it off. Looks at strike one. Weeks, Zunino, and Smith here in the home third. Taking a lay off. Colts has had some good years with the Red Sox. Goes 17-7 back in the 2010 season, at 12-1 in the 2013 campaign. All 2 strikes to Ricky.
And with the Mariners, Austin Jackson ends up getting hurt. He's on the DL. Looking forward to getting him back hopefully in about a week or so. Some other guys struggling, guys having to play different positions. Just thinking about it, did you ever play any other position other than catcher? I think you were over at first at one point, weren't you?
I did get a start over at first base once or twice and filled in there in some late inning shifts or player moves. But I had one quick stint at third base too in a blowout game as well.
What do you mean by quick stint?
It was one game. That's all I could last down there.
Did you get any action?
I got maybe 1 or 2 plays.
And
it happens fast down there at third base.
How'd you do?
As you know.
Ricky Weeks takes a call, 3rd strike.
I think it went okay. I survived. I know that, but
catch the ball, throw the ball, right?
That's all it is.
Coming up tomorrow, Game 3 at CenturyLink. What's next? Tomorrow's starters, Rick Porcello against Felix Hernandez. Felix, marvelous again. 6-0 with a 1.85 ERA. And opponent's hitting just $1.92. That's our CenturyLink. What's next? There's Mike Zunino.
You had a chance to see Felix much this year?
Yes.
What has impressed you the most about him?
I think that, for me, just him being as consistent as he is. I mean, he just, you expect a guy who's your number 1 to go out and give you a good start every time. But he goes out and gives you an outstanding start every time. And I think for me, the consistency of that has been unbelievable. You just keep waiting for him to falter, but he does not. And has been, I think he's come up huge in some situations where they've had a couple of streaks where he's been able to stop a 4-game losing streak and just dominate a lineup and do his thing. And he's just, to me, filled that number 1, that ace role very, very well again for him out the start.
There aren't many starters that I can think of, and I know that you've caught a bunch of really good ones, but the thing that impresses me with him going along with the consistency, Dan, is having 4 pitches every time he goes out there and the ability to throw them all for strikes. You would think that there would be a night where maybe his slider or his curveball isn't working, but it's there every single night.
Well, and I think the benefit of having 4 quality pitches, and we talked in the pregame on the radio about Pedro Martinez, and who's another guy that had 4 quality pitches. But the benefit is, if you don't have one of them in the first or second inning, you got 3 other ones you can rely on until you can find that 4th one again. And I think that's an advantage for him. And he is unpredictable. He throws all 4 of those pitches at different counts. But to me, that changeup that he throws, really, the 90-mile-an-hour changeup with the incredible run that it has, that to me is a very tough pitch for any hitter.
Good count for Seth Smith, ahead 2-0.
I think you bring up an interesting point. If he, for example, in the first or second inning doesn't have his curveball, but his other stuff is working, wouldn't it be easy as a catcher to let's just not worry about the curveball today? But you talked about it. You're going to call it some more and see if you can get a feel for it.
Yeah, and that's, we actually talk a lot about that with some of the minor league catchers is, you can't just ditch a pitch early in the game and say he doesn't have it that day. You got to be able to find ways to work that pitch in eventually and throw it so he can find it. And whether it's you start a guy off with it, maybe you throw 2 in a row, or you get in a situation where you're ahead and he can throw that ball in the dirt so that he gets a chance to find it again, because you're going to need that pitch the 2nd, 3rd, 4th time through the lineup.
Did you ever catch Felix in spring training or at any time?
Yeah,
I
remember catching him once in spring training and just remember
it was a little different then.
Yeah, he was. he was coming at you with a fastball. Then had the good curve. But I tell you what, he's a completely different pitcher now. But you knew then that he had the kind of stuff that he was going to be around the game for a long time.
Buchholz throwing a pretty good ball game here. 3 innings of 1 hit ball. He's got a 1-0 lead. Being brought to you by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast, by Audi, Truth in Engineering, and by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Big crowd on hand this Friday. Red Sox in town. Red Sox lead at 1-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. Jay Happ against Cliff Buchholz, and pleased to be joined by Dan Wilson this evening. Dave Sims along with Mike Flowers. Last couple of nights, boys, starting pitching. It's been good.
I thought Elias was really good last night. Established his fastball early, then went to his breaking ball and changeup. And Walker, at one point, he was right around 90% fastballs, really threw a lot of fastballs, which is something that they were talking about with him, wanting him to do, establish his fastball and pitch inside.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the thing that I like to see on those lines right there, Mike, obviously Elias yesterday was 6 1/3, only 2 walks, and then Walker was 6 innings and only the 1 walk. That's so key, and being able to throw strikes. That's what we've seen from Happ all year long too. Keeping those walks down is so important.
And getting deeper into games.
Yeah.
We've seen the benefits. The bullpen has been much better lately, and guys were overworked early in the season because the starters just couldn't get deep into games. But they've done a much better job of that as of late.
Hanley Ramirez struck out on a 2-2 pitch first time, a long at bat. He's got a 2-1 count here. Almost hitting. Adrian Beltre, career home run number 400 tonight. 52nd player to reach that milestone in big league history.
Dan, watching Happ this year, his fastball has been anywhere from 91 to 94 miles an hour. Do you think he hides the ball or just late life to it? It seems like it's a lot of late swings on his fastball.
Yeah, I think, I think you're right. When you see a lot of those swings, when you get the late swings, there's obviously movement there at the end that they're not anticipating, and they're trying to take that emergency hack. I like the plane he creates too. He's not a super tall guy, but he does create a little bit of plane as he comes over. What do you mean by that? Comes kind of over the top and throws downhill and gets good plane. And again, that's something that's tough on a hitter as well.
Here's Mike Napoli. Long fly out to Cruz and Wright in his first at bat. At the end of the bat, into right field, base hit. 4th hit for Boston. Shane Victorino will be the hitter now. He singled to right, stole second, and scored on the Bogarts 2-out triple in the 2nd inning. Pretty good lead by Napoli. Chased back by Happ. Miller and Cano at double play depth. He did commit. 0-2.
You see the delivery here of Happ, how he hides the ball. Hitters like to see the ball early. They like to see the ball early so they can determine spin and velocity, and that determines whether or not they're going to swing at the pitch. And when the pitcher's good at hiding the ball, kind of jump on you a little bit, and you don't get that time that you'd like to make those decisions.
You could also see from that delivery what you were talking about, the plane and him working downhill, right, almost back over the top.
Yeah. And I think Paxton's another one that uses the plane very, very well. These guys that can stay up on top of it, work down the hill, and really drive that ball down into the strike zone.
Well, if you look at his numbers, that's what he does, especially with his fastball. He is down in the strike zone, right at the knees.
That pitch got hammered as it was hung up there by Happ. A base hit for Victorino. 2 hits tonight, 2 hits last night. 1 out, 2 on.
Victorino will get an off-speed pitch, just 79 miles an hour. Probably his changeup.
That one stayed up on him a little bit, Mike. About thigh high, maybe belt high. Talked about elevations, just so key, being able to keep the ball down in the zone, and
especially when it's an off-speed pitch.
When it's an off-speed pitch and it's up in the zone, that's when your eyes light up as a hitter.
2 hits this inning for the Red Sox gives them 5, and here's pitch fouled off by Sandoval. Soft line drive to Brad Miller in the 2nd inning. Blocked by Zunino, 1-1. Again, Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, way out of the box, closer to home plate than third. Sandoval takes a pitch down low, 2-1. There's Butter. Ernie B. Yeller's the first base coach. First and second, 1 out. Two and 2. Happ trying to pitch his way out of some trouble here in the 4th. Gave up a harmless single in the 2nd inning. Gave up a single to Victorino and a triple to Bogarts. A 1-2-3 third. Now some difficulties here in the 4th.
Well, you'd really like to see him get a double play ball right here. He had to throw a lot of pitches through the first 2 innings, and now he's been able to get his pitch count back to where it's manageable. 64 pitches here in the 4th. If he can get a double play and get off the field, he should be in good shape.
That's right. I think we're seeing a lot of breaking, not so much breaking balls, but off speed down in the zone, trying to get him out front to roll over on it.
Two and two. Did pretty well. Deep left center field. Ruggiano goes back to get it. Napoli tags, coming to third. No plays in safely with the slide. They're 2 away. 2 away with runners at the corners now. Make sure you stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. Two outs, runners at first and third for Xander Bogaerts. Drove in the only run of the ball game. Mariners have just 1 hit. 2 out first inning double by Robinson Cano. Going off the fence in left field. High strike and a breaking ball.
We'll take a look at Bogaerts driving in the 1 run of the ball game. You see Ruggiano in center field and the amount of ground that he had to cover as this ball will come off the fence. That'll be a triple. Shading him a little bit towards right center field, so he had to run a long way. And with Jackson on the disabled list, Lloyd McClendon moving some guys around, and we've seen Ackley out in center field the last 3 or 4 days, and now it's Ruggiano's turn.
It's good to see Austin working out today, doing some cutting and doing some light sprinting, trying to work his way back. Best case scenario, what I most recently heard would be sometime next weekend, maybe in Toronto. 0-2 to Bogaerts with 2 outs and 2 on. This kid's doing a good job fighting off some pitches. Comes the 0-2, runner breaks. Napoli caught between third and home. Now Miller going to run at Napoli. Throws to Zunino. And Seager tags him out. Nicely done by the Mariners to get out of the 4th inning. 1-0 Boston. Right now, let's take a look at the Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. We'll wrap up this series Saturday and Sunday and be in Baltimore on Monday and then play the Orioles for 3. Weekend series with Toronto, and then go to Tampa Bay. It's got to be easily 35,000. If you tell me 40, I wouldn't be shocked. Another big crowd expected tomorrow. Felix Hernandez will be on the mound for Game 3. 1-3, 6-2-5. Napoli put out to end the 4th inning. There's Brad Miller. 2-3 and 4 here against Buchholz. Buchholz has held the Mariners to 1 hit. Robinson can no double on a 2-0 pitch off the left center field fence. That was in the 1st inning. Miller to be followed by Cano and Cruz.
We'll see what kind of adjustments they make to Buchholz. First time through the lineup. Basically going right off of his chart, mixing in all of his pitches. He's typically about 45% fastballs, using everything else, and that's pretty much what we've seen.
Popped up. Long run for Ramirez. Here he comes. Makes the play. Next Coors Light Silver Bullet Saturday. Tomorrow. First 400 fans, 21 and older. While you're in the pen during early happy hour, you're going to get a Silver Bullet Saturday t-shirt and extended happy hour pricing until first pitch. Plus, fans will have the opportunity to win a custom Coors Light refrigerator, tickets, and a lot more. One out, here's Cano. Cano, the team leader with 12 doubles as he grounds one. His opposite number, Dustin Pedroia. Quick 2 outs. Bald eagle flying around. Look at that wingspan. Is that beautiful? At the Mariners Care event at Snoqualmie, TPC Snoqualmie, saw dozens of them. That is some sight. It's really something when you watch them go to work too. They circle, and that dive bomb, and you're done. Cruz looks at strike 1. He struck out on a 1-2 pitch to end the 1st inning.
Talking on the radio side about obviously what Cruz has done offensively, but flashed a little leather in right field as well. He made a nice running catch on Pedroia early in the game. He's done a nice job in right field.
He has, and I think it surprised a lot of people. There's a good arm out there too, Dan, and he'll hit his cutoff man. He throws to the right base.
Yep.
He makes good decisions when he's in the field.
Two-one pitch. Takes it for ball 3. Kyle Seager awaits.
I don't think, Dan, when you look at a guy that's a free agent comes to a town, I don't think he can do much more than what he's done over the first 6 weeks.
3-1 pitch.
No, I think you're right. Obviously, what you want to do as you come to a new city is put up the numbers you want to put. But I think he is overachieved in that direction and right. You know, defensively, he's done a nice job. As you see it go right off his shin. But
people were asking me when we were coming out of spring training, and I said I would like to see him just get off to a good start.
Right.
You know, well. I think this qualifies. Great start. He's going to have to walk that one off. Lloyd McClendon, Rick Griffin, the trainer, out looking at him. But he has been a lot of fun to watch.
Player of the month in April, and then really May has not slacked off at all.
No, he hasn't.
Crew's going to hang in there.
Looks fine on the outside, but you know that's barking on the inside, Blow.
The swelling is starting.
3-2, 2 outs, nobody on. A 1-0 Sox lead. Struck him out. Buck Holtz with his 4th strikeout through 4 innings. And he's got that 1-0 advantage. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. As you take a look at the left field entrance, the time-lapse work from 5:15 to 7:15 tonight. Great crowd on hand. Upper reaches pretty filled up. We're looking at 40+ here tonight. Xander Bogaerts going to lead it off. He was at the dish when the Red Sox had Napoli at third, Victorino at first. Victorino broke for second. Happ had him picked off, and then they got the rundown going, and they wound up getting Napoli to end the inning on a 1-3-6-2-5.
Pretty well executed, too, on the defensive side for the Mariners.
Yeah, no panic.
Yeah,
didn't rush.
Not at all.
It'll be Bogaerts, Sandy Leon, and Mookie Betts. Red Sox lead on a second inning 2-out RBI triple by this man Bogaerts. 12th RBI and 3rd triple. Bounces this one to Seager. Easy play. 1 out. So 1 down here in the Sox 5th. Safeco Field's going to be filled with the sights and sounds of the 1940s tomorrow. Mariners play Game 3 of the series with the Red Sox. We're going to salute the Seattle Steelheads and the Negro Leagues, as both teams will wear vintage uniforms. For tickets to turn back the clock night, visit Mariners.com. I did get word that they'll have a good collection of 1940s hits on hand for your musical enjoyment. Sandy Leon, a switch hitting catcher. Grounded out to short. Jay Happ tonight, 1 strikeout, no walks. Giving up a run on 5 hits. Breaking ball and a good one, 0-2. Way outside, 1-2. One steps out. Tenth start of the season, making the opening day roster for the first time in his career. Here comes Cruz. He's there to make the play. Two outs and back to the top of the order. Mookie Betts. He's 0 for 2. The Red Sox center fielders fly to center and grounded out to third. Strike one to Mookie.
Happ doing a pretty good job, Mike, getting ahead of a lot of the hitters, putting them on the defensive right away. That 0-1 count so important for a pitcher.
That's something that I think we were talking about, the success that he's had since he's been here in Seattle, and I think that's a big part of it, Dan. He doesn't walk batters.
Right.
And he typically, and the thing that's amazing to me, and we saw the Red Sox, they were aggressive last night, but he typically will get ahead with his fastball. There's a breaking ball just missing with it. I was surprised that the Red Sox haven't been more aggressive on that first pitch because he's shown the ability to throw it for strikes.
Yeah. 2-1. Ground ball to Brad Miller. And he throws out Marcus Lynn. Mookie Betts a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Mariners down a run. Kyle Seager, Justin Ruggiano, and Logan Morrison coming to bat.
Say, sit down next to me. That's kind of what Matt's doing here. He says the Red Sox deflate the baseball. The hashtag is where I root. Keep your photos coming. And how about this picture, guys? I don't understand this one. Ryan sent this one in. You got Gandalf there, Barney, the panda, a unicorn. I'm not exactly sure what the other one was. And remember, by the way, you know, that was a unicorn. A rhinoceros is just a chubby unicorn, guys.
Angie, 1-1 to Kyle Seager. Our second deflate gate reference in this series. Napoli flips the Buckholz. We first referenced it yesterday, talking about the Red Sox struggling and them not catching a lot of heat because of deflate gate in New England. Coming up Sunday morning on our pregame show, we're going to have a great story about a young man here in Seattle made a Super Bowl bet the gentleman back in New England. And it'll be paid off Sunday here at Safeco Field. Justin Ruggiano lined out to Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman. Up and in. 2-0. Davidson said he did not go.
We'll take a look at the check swing by Ruggiano. It's a cut fastball.
A couple of Texans going after each other. Nederland, Texas for Buckholz. And Ruggiano's from Austin. There's a strike. 3-1. Logan Morrison on deck. And 2. Buckholz has really shut down the Mariners here tonight. One hit, a Cano first inning double. Buckholz has not walked anybody and struck out 4. 3-2.
And what we've seen is a lot of that. He's changing speed, using all of his pitches, pitching around the strike zone, and now he's starting to expand it. And you'll see the Mariner hitters are starting to chase some pitches down off the plate. I think he's just done an excellent job of, we were talking about it with him, getting strikes early in count and then start to expand the zone by changing speeds.
Yeah, and you can really see him throwing a lot of fastballs into Ruggiano, and then that breaking ball right there.
Struck him out.
And then the cutter down and away. So key for that cutter to be down with the right-handed hitters, and that one there was a nasty one.
5th strikeout.
This one's going to start at the knees and then just cuts down and away off to the corner below the knees, and that's a tough pitch for a right-hander to lay off of because he's been around the plate all night,
especially with 2 strikes. And I think that we were talking about the splits, and the right-handers have really handled Buckholz, and I would venture to say that that cutter hasn't been located like that in a number of his starts, but he's done an excellent job with it tonight.
Strike 1 to Logan Morrison, a flight out to center field. Second inning, 2-out, RBI triple by shortstop Xander Bogaerts, scoring Shane Victorino, the only run in this ballgame.
See those first couple of pitches there, Blow, on the EQC tracer, that right on the red line. I mean, you're right. He's staying on the corners. He's staying on the outside parts of the zone, and that's tough for any hitter.
He's faced 16 batters, 11 first pitch strikes, and he's been able to do it with a variety of pitches.
Way inside, 2-1. Buckholz against the Mariners, 2-1. 4 previous starts, 3.71 ERA. There's Carl Willis. Joined the club Sunday as a new pitching coach. Former Mariner pitching coach when Eric Wedge was here. Carl was with the Cleveland AAA ball club in Columbus when he got the call. And Red Sox calling Cleveland to get permission to speak to him. It was granted. And spoke to the Boston folks, Ben Cherington, the GM, John Farrell, the manager. And got to the game on Sunday. Look out.
There's the cutter again. Cut to lay off that pitch. It ended up being off the plate, but with 2 strikes, you can see how close it is on our EQC tracer and the location of that pitch. And really, there's nothing that Logan can do other than pull it foul.
I think the key there too, Mike, is the elevation on that pitch. When you're going into the lefty, you want to elevate a little bit, get in on their hands. And when you use that cutter to the right-handers, it's when you want it down.
3-2 to Lomo. Bogaerts surrounds it, flips over to get him. A 1-2-3 fifth inning. Buchholz 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's retired in a row. Shift against him and everybody else.
The most important thing that people doesn't focus on is that the shift is not just made up to cut those ball in front of the right field and throw you out first base. That also, managers do it just to get in your head and try to get you out of your routine, out of your game. So a lot of guys don't recognize that, and that causes trouble later on. In my case, at the beginning, I was like, oh, whoa, what is this? But then I get it. I know that they don't want me to just use ball like I do and hit it out of the park with my swing. They want me to try to slap the ball opposite field or do something different so my swing is not what it normally is. So that's the purpose of the shift.
Michael?
Yeah, I think that it's something that we've talked to a number of the Mariners about, and including Kyle Seager, and that's why Kyle, with Ortiz, you put the shift on, he's almost doing you a favor, Dan, I think, trying to hit the ball the other way, because he's a dangerous hitter. He can hit the ball in the seats. That's what he's paid to do, and all of a sudden you want him to hit singles the other way. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you're trying to take him, you're tempting him to take him out of his game, and his game is right field and long. And you're just asking him to try to hit the ball the other way. He's just not going to do that. He's going to continue. We saw him earlier hit one right through the shift.
Right. And it's one of the things I talked to Kyle Seager about, Dan. And Kyle, a different hitter than Ortiz is. Kyle, obviously, his power is to right field. But he said he will pick and choose his times when he's going to try to hit the ball the other way. Even drop down a bunt every now and then. And we've seen him do that. And now we're starting to see some teams, some will still shift on him, but not every team, like we were saying, because he's shown an ability to do that. But again, it comes down to Kyle making the decision on what he's going to try to do and win. Yeah, and we saw in the pregame, we talked about it a little bit, in the shift that they're putting on Kyle right now. They are not putting the shortstop on the second base side of the bag. They're keeping him over in his position. They're just playing the shortstop up the middle a little bit more. So he's even changed the shift a little bit because he's hitting the ball the other way. It's not as drastic of a shift. And, you know, to me, the question is, how many times does it take a guy to spoil the shift for that manager to say, okay, now we're going to not shift on him anymore. We're going to change our shift. I mean, you have to prove it a couple of times pretty consistently. Right. And I think that it's also situational, because there are times Kyle, 25 home runs, has the ability to hit the ball in the seats. If he's the time, go ahead and run, put the shift on, and hope he tries to hit it the other way. Yeah, exactly. And
Ortiz tonight 1 for 2, first inning single to right, fly out to center in the third. Off the glove, Zanino 0-2. Here we go, shift it over.
He doesn't need to be told. He knows. We see Kyle out at the shortstop position.
Ortiz owns all the old-time records for DH. Grounds this one to Miller to Seager. Seager used to be a second baseman. Made it look easy, didn't he? A 6-5-3 double play. Made it look easy. Follow the Mariners all season long with MLB.com at bat. The #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the minute with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat, your smartphone or your tablet. It is a great buy. Get it on the phone and on the tablet.
Mike, maybe Kyle Seager just answered this for us, but how much of is this shift a negative for the defense, because you're moving guys out of position? They're playing positions that they're not normally used to playing.
Well, I think we've talked about that a little bit this year, Dan, and I think that so many times when you look at guys that are playing at the big league level, second base, third base, at some point in their career along the way, they probably played some shortstop. They're typically pretty good athletes, and they move them around. I was a little bit surprised on that shift, because what we've seen Lloyd do is he'll put the shift on and send Kyle over to the right side of the infield, because he's a former second baseman, and would leave Miller at the shortstop position
to make the turn.
Right, and so I'm thinking that, and right when I'm thinking it, here comes the ground ball. But Kyle didn't have any problem turning it, but you would think that he would keep it that way, and I'll have to talk to Lloyd to find out why he decided to go there. But Kyle didn't have any problems at all making the play.
Popped up, playable. It's going to be Morrison. Look out! Boy, two 18-wheelers about to collide. Got to be careful. Let him make the catch. Haps out of the inning, 1-0 Red Sox. Vern Funk. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. And buy steel. To find your local steel dealer, go to steeldealer.com. Great to have you with us, everybody, here in Root Sports this Friday evening. Under some clouds, but a very comfortable evening here in Seattle. 39,477. A terrific crowd here for Game 2 of this 4-game series with the Boston Red Sox. Blake Buchholz has thrown a gem. A one-hit shutout through 5. He's retired the last 13 men that he's faced. The only hitter, Robinson Cano's first inning double. Here's Ricky Weeks to lead it off. Ricky took a called third strike leading off the third inning, and he's behind 0-1 here.
Now another first pitch strike from Buchholz. That time it was the cutter.
0-2 to Weeks. Will be followed by Mike Zunino and Seth Smith.
Seen a pretty good curveball from him too tonight. Buchholz with a couple of first pitch strikes with the curveball. That one there, a nice tight one down at the bottom part of the zone, but seems to be really clicking on all of his pitches tonight.
He's really mixed it up, Dan, and his location has been excellent.
Here's the 0-2. And holding on as Leon. Strikeout of Ricky Weeks. That's 6 Ks for Buchholz, and has retired 14 consecutive.
Well, it's a good example of what we've been talking about. Starts him off with an 89-mile-an-hour cutter, throws him the curveball, and then one of his better fastballs tonight at 94.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty good two-seamer, too, with some movement down and in that Weeks just couldn't handle it. 94, that's a tough pitch.
Brings up Mike Zunino, fly to right his first time. Buchholz's worst start of his career, April 12th last month at the Yankees. 3 1/3, 10 runs, 9 earned, 2 homers allowed in 79 pitches. This one of his best outings of his career. A 1-hit shutout into the 6th. Zunino is ahead 2-0 his first time up when he flied to right.
The other thing that he's done, Dan, is when he's fallen behind like this, he's come back with something off speed or his cutter off the outside corner to the righties. He's not just going to give in to him.
2-0 to Mike Z.
There's the cutter. There it was. He's been consistent with that pitch tonight, and it's been well located. He certainly understands that he's trying to protect a 1-run lead. And these guys get into hitters' counts. He's not going to give them something they can hit out of the ballpark, at least try to keep it.
Shields 2 nights ago. Same thing.
No, you're right, Dave.
2-1. 2-2.
That might have been one of the few mistakes he's made. He tried to run that in on his hands and left it out over the plate.
Six strikeouts, no walks for Buchholz. 2-2 to Zunino. A long way and foul. One out, nobody on. 2-2 to Mike. Struck him out. 7 Ks, 15 in a row retired. Here's Angie Menting.
Guys, you never know where people are going to send in photos using the hashtag where I root from or where they have been. I met Dave Taylor just a little bit ago. He's here at Safeco Field for the first time. This is stadium number 38, only 3 more to go. Last night, he was in San Diego, sat through a rain delay. He's taken an overnight flight to Minnesota tonight. He's got Target Field left, Coors Field. He has to go back there because of a rain out earlier, and he's still got the Marlins to go and see. And who knows, there's, fields that are opening in a couple of years from now, like in Atlanta. So he may have to continue this odyssey that he's been on for 14 years. Now, you ask, how on earth does he afford to do this? Apparently he's in radio, so that means we're in the wrong business, guys.
Good trade-offs. Good trade-offs. Little publicity. Not bad. Top of the order, Seth Smith, 0 for 2. He struck out once tonight. High drive, deep right center field. Going back is back. We've got a tie ball game at 1-1. Seth Smith unloads here in the 6th. Smitty with his 3rd of the year, 9th RBI. Brand new ball game at 1-1. Got it on a 1-0 pitch.
Something the Mariners have done this year, hit home runs, and you had to feel that maybe that's what it was going to take, Dan. It looks like it's going to be difficult to bunch hits together. And with 2 outs, a couple of strikeouts, Seth Smith in his 3rd at bat finally figures him out, catches up with a fastball in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, and you see that elevation on that pitch too, about thigh high, right where he got extension. Boy, hit that ball a long way, and that's, we know that part of the ballpark, the ball will fly, and it went up there pretty good.
Got what he was looking for. Drove it a long way. Our Columbia Bank difference in the ball game. Second Mariner hit. Brad Miller behind 0-2. Who ends up with it? Off his brim. 419 feet. Ties it up here. Well, you know that felt good. 1-2 pitch, strike 3 called. Inning highlighted nonetheless by Seth Smith, the youngster at the gray hoodie. His dad ended up with baseball, and it's a beauty there. A 1-1 ball game. Dan Wilson, it's your show. Take you back to the 4th inning.
Now here's that pickoff of Victorino at first base. Mariners do such a nice job. You see Miller coming over here. He sees Napoli off. He comes towards him. He chases him toward home. Gives the ball up to Zunino. And then Zunino runs him back down to the bag. Nicely executed. Everybody's at a base. We got outfielders coming in to back things up. A nice job. No panic. And the other thing to notice, Napoli kind of got caught there in no man's land, kind of wandering off. You either go or you don't. And he went, kind of stopped, and that's when the Mariners nabbed him. Nice job on the defense.
There's Napoli. Ahead in the count 1-0. And boy, the outfielders did a great job, didn't they? Coming in.
Yeah.
That was textbook. Napoli, Shane Victorino, and Pablo Sandoval here in the top of the 7th against Jay Happ. Happ's been outstanding as well. A run on 5 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. Here's Jay pitching into the 7th for the 4th time this season. He's behind 3-0 to Napoli.
And Jay is now at 95 pitches. Joe Beimel getting loose in the pen.
Red Sox got their run 2nd inning, 2-out RBI triple by shortstop Xander Bogaerts as you look at Joe Beimel warming up. It stayed that way until Seth Smith homered, ending a run of 15 consecutive batters retired by Clay Buchholz. 3-1.
Both these pitching performances have been pretty good, been pretty parallel, but the difference is Happ's pitch count a little bit higher than Buchholz. Buchholz been a little bit more efficient. and we'll see what happens with the Mariners. That's why the bullpen is up and cranking.
3-2 here to Napoli. Struck him out. 1 out in the 7th. Second strikeout of the evening for Jay Happ. Time up for a Geico This Date in MLB history. Take you back to Stormin Gorman Thomas back in 1985 in Alvin Davis. Back-to-back homers. 7-1 win over the Sox at Fenway. 32 bombs for Thomas that season. He was 3 years removed from the Harvey's Wallbangers Milwaukee Brewers, American League champions of 1982. There's Victorino looking at a strike. Shane 2 for 2. Single to right, single to left, and a run scored.
Jay is now at 100 pitches. Only the second time this year he's reached that mark. Threw 100 pitches on April 22nd against Houston. So he's tied his season high so far. Heimel ready to go in the pen.
The 0-2 struck him out. Back-to-back Ks and a nice breaking ball by Jay Happ. 2 outs here in the 7th.
Last 2 off-speed pitches to Victorino. He's taken a lot off of him. This is a good curveball.
Just some good quality pitches on both sides, really, from these pitchers. Even with the Napoli strikeout, Happ fell behind 2-0, and even comes back into the count with some good pitches like we talked about on Buchholz too. These guys are doing a nice job staying out of the middle of the plate and not making mistakes.
Pablo Sandoval, soft liner to shortstop and a fly to center tonight. Boston won last night 2-1. Not a lot of scoring this evening either. Here's the 0-1. Cruz on the case. Nice job by Jay Happ. 7 strong innings. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the 7th inning. Coming up for the Mariners, 3, 4, and 5. Cano, Cruz, and Seager. As you consider how Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list, play today. Great crowd on hand here at Safeco Field, 39,477. Game 2 of a 4-game set. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Dan Wilson, Mariners Hall of Famer, joining us here above the A at Safeco Field. 1-1 ball game. Seth Smith tied it up in the 6th. And a long home run off the Clay Buchholz. Here's Robinson Cano, 1 for 2. He had the lone hit for the Mariners until Smitty hit the home run. Strike 1.
Tom Wilhelmsen's getting loose in the pen, and if he's getting loose right now, I have to believe he's coming into the game. So that's probably it for Happ, up over 100 pitches. If you guys can get him a run, he really pitched well tonight, Dan.
Yeah, outstanding job. Right alongside Buchholz's good performance too, but making quality pitches, changing speeds, staying down in the zone. Talked about it, all those ingredients that make up a good pitching performance. Happ was on it tonight.
0-2 to Cano. Doubled off the left center field fence in his first at bat. Got one off his foot. You saw Cruz bang one off his shin.
Well, at least Robbie has the guard on. Cruz did not have it. Buchholz still in great shape with his pitch count. Just 82 pitches as he works here in the 7th inning. Nobody throwing in the Boston bullpen.
Buchholz backed off the mound. Cano working his way back towards batter's circle. Cano's in the box taking his time. And shoot, what you were saying earlier, that thing's barking big time.
It burned, boy.
Buchholz deals 0-2. Struck him out. It's a 9th strikeout for Buchholz here in this ballgame. As we take a look at our Delta Airlines Keep Climbing standings. Here's how things started today. Mariners 4 games under 500, looking to get cranking. As the Astros are 10 games over 500 starting today. Oh wait, here's Nelson Cruz. He struck out twice, swinging both times on a 1-2 pitch and a 3-2 pitch. Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him on 3 pitches, 10 strikeouts, ties his season best. 2 away here in the 7th inning. Make sure you join us Tuesday, June 2nd. Mariners host the Yankees on Kyle Seager Bobblehead Night, courtesy of Root Sports. The collectible bobblehead commemorates Kyle's Gold Glove Award, and it's free to the first 20,000 fans. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Kyle has twice bounced out from Napoli at first. This one might be enough. It's going to drop for a base hit. 2-out base runner here in the 7th.
Well, Kyle tired of hitting it to Napoli over at first. Another off-speed pitch. Catches it right off the end of the bat. A little top spin to it, so he'll pick up a base hit. Kyle now 1 for 3 in the game.
Like a little changeup, pretty good location for it, but Kyle just reached out, put it into right field for the hit.
Reggiano's lined out to second and struck out. 0 for 2. That hit by Seager, the 3rd Mariner hit tonight. Swing and a miss. Oakland leads the White Sox 5-2, bottom 5 at Oakland. Angels won at Baltimore 3-1. And Houston, an 8-4 winner at home against Toronto. Keuchel winner, 5-0 with a 1.87 ERA. club big doings tonight. They beat the Yankees 12-1 in KC. They beat Michael Pineda. The winner, Chris Young, 3-0 with an 0.94 ERA.
I was surprised that it took so long for somebody to sign Chris. The job that he did here last year.
He was marvelous last year. He did a great job. 1-1 to Ruggiano. Two and one. Colts pitch. 2-2. Ruggiano got his first Mariner home run 3 days ago against San Diego. Tonight the Mariners hit 6 home runs. Two and two with 2 outs. It up, and it's out play.
The only catcher out there, off-speed pitch, he left it up and in the middle of the plate. Dan, I think he's trying to get him back down in the zone. Trying to keep him from making a mistake here late in the ball game.
Yeah, that one way up at the top of the zone. I don't think that's where they wanted that one.
And Buchholz now at 92 pitches. He may be getting tired.
And he hasn't had to work out of the stretch much tonight. This is the first time he's had to work out of the stretch, I think, since the first inning. A little different feel for him.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out on a sweeping breaking ball. That's 11 strikeouts, a season best for Buchholz. Played 7. It's like Big Tom's going to take over. 1-1 Sox and Mariners. Here's Seth Smith. Changes things up in the 6th inning. 1-0 pitch. 2 out, nobody on. And it ties the ball game for Smitty's 3rd home run, RBI number 9. And that ties the game at 1. Xander Bogaerts had put Boston ahead in the 2nd inning. And Jay Happ, a fine start, Dan Wilson.
Yeah, you look at his numbers, the 7 innings, just the 5 hits, the 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 103 pitches on the night. outstanding performance. Not many mistakes. Really did a nice job moving the ball around, changing speeds when he had to, and commanding the bottom of the zone. Nice night by J. Happ.
Tom Wilhelmsen will take over. 4.15 ERA. 7 strikeouts and 4 1/3 for Tom. Good fastball in the mid-90s. Mix in his curveball, 12-6 curveball, and a changeup.
Last note on Happ, he took his ERA from 3.29 to 2.98. 7 innings of work. 0-1 to Bogaerts, 1 for 2. Second inning RBI triple and a ground out. The third, that was back in the 5th inning. A slicing base hit in the right center field.
Well, Bogaerts is going to get a fastball at 94 miles an hour. It's on the outside corner, but elevated. And he just drops the barrel on a solid line drive into right center field.
Now the cat and mouse game begins. Bogaerts with a couple of bags. Probably bunt him over here.
Kyle Lynn on the grass at third, expecting the bunt.
Sandy Leon, the catcher. 1 sacrifice on the season. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Red Sox with 9 sacrifices on the season. 2-1 Boston win last night, tied at 1 here in the 8th. A run on 6 hits for Boston, 1 run, 3 hits for the Mariners. Seager creeping in, bunt shown, bunt gets down. Here's Wilhelmsen. A throw to Morrison, sacrifice 1-3. Improve your on-bus percentage. Writing's easy, just ask our writer's guide. It's available at soundtransit.org. Sacrifice 1-3 gets Bogaerts to second. Leadoff man Mookie Betts is 0 for 3.
Red Sox tonight 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Pedroia waiting on deck, and then you'll have Ortiz. So Charlie Furbush getting loose in the pen for the Mariners, getting ready for Ortiz. There's Charlie.
Third of an inning last night for Charlie. Got Ortiz to fly to center field to end the 7th inning. Popped up, going back is Morrison. Omo makes the play. 2 down in the 8th. Runner at second. Saturday, May 30th. Nelson Cruz bat night here at Safeco Field. Mariners will be taking on the Cleveland Indians. All kids receive a Little League size Nelson Cruz baseball bat. For your tickets to one of the biggest nights of the year, visit Mariners.com today. Pedroia fly to right, fly to center, and a walk. Pedroia 1 for 3 against Big Top. 2-0. Out field straight away, not too deep for Pedroia. Pitch. One hop to Brad Miller. Scoop. Whoa, a good one by Logan Morrison. Runner stranded at second. Coming up for the Mariners, the bottom third of the order. Logan Morrison, Ricky Weeks, and Mike Zunino. Boys at the 6th inning. This got a little hairy here as Zunino made the catch. You see the sigh of relief by Jay Happ. Nobody hurt anybody.
Well, catcher's responsibility there. Go for the ball until you hear something. Didn't look like Lomo called it. So Zunino went ahead to make the catch and just kind of bumped into Lomo. Made the out. Nobody got hurt, Dave.
Bottom line. And you saw Jay exhale on that one, didn't he? Logan Morrison leads off against Buchholz. He's got 11 Ks tonight, one away from his career best. Lomo fly to center. And a ground out to short. Buchholz has been outstanding. 11 Ks, no walks. Held the Mariners to a run on 3 hits. Breaking ball in there for strike number 1. To Anichi Tozawa. And the left-hander Tommy Lane warming up.
Well, Buchholz now at 95 pitches. His season high is 107 a couple of starts ago. Good changeup.
Again, good quality pitches on the outside part of the zone, down in the zone. He's done it all night.
Ball and 2 strikes. Fouled off Lomo's foot.
Probably 3 or 4 times we've seen Mariner hitters do that tonight.
Cruz, Cano, Lomo was one more, wasn't it? I think did one other guy in there. 1 and 2. High fly ball, gonna get deep into the corner. Victorino back there, and he makes the catch in foul territory for the out. 1 away.
Well, Logan gets an elevated fastball on the inside corner and able to turn on it. But skies it out to right, and Victorino is in foul territory.
So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Ricky Weeks Struck out looking and swinging tonight. Last time up, struck out on 3 pitches. He's been behind both at bats. One and 0. Tonight's the first time Mickey Weeks has faced off against Buckholz. Comes 1-0. Pedroia going back, coming in as Victorino. Shane makes the play. Tomorrow, CenturyLink, what's next? Rick Porcello, new to the Red Sox from Detroit, takes on the King, Felix Hernandez. You run out of adjectives with Felix. He has been, among other things, fabulous. What a start he's had to this season. 3rd in ERA, leader in wins, top 10 in strikeouts, innings pitched. Got the best earned run average at night at 1.21. Home ERA, top 10. Here's Zunino. Going to stay in the yard. Mookie Betts under it. And another good inning for Clay Buckholz. Score remains tied at 1-1 as we go to the 9th. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Jack in the Box, Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. After a cloudy beginning, turned out to be a beautiful day here in Seattle. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew, Dan Wilson, our special guest tonight, and 39,477 here in the ballpark to watch the Mariners battle the Red Sox. Here's David Ortiz slapping one to center field to start the 9th inning for Boston. Ortiz shorten up his swing there. He picks up his 3rd career hit and 4 at-bats against Wilhelmsen.
Well, he was aggressive on a low fastball, 95 miles an hour.
Ortiz with his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 4. Charlie Furbush warms up again.
Yeah, Charlie was up earlier in the ballgame. It will not take him long.
Ramirez 0 for 3. That's strike 1. Tom came on to pitch the 8th inning, gave up a leadoff single to Bogarts in their sacrifice, but then he was able to get out of trouble. Pop up and a ground out. Fly ball deep to right. Cruz is right there. On foot on the track, makes the catch. One out, one on. Brings up Mike Napoli. Napoli 1 for 4 against Wilhelmsen. Mike tonight, fly to right, single to right, and a strikeout.
I was a little bit surprised that they didn't have a pinch runner for Ortiz, but maybe they're just going to wait till he gets into scoring position, or if he gets into scoring position, to take him out of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to lose that bat, especially since this game feels like maybe extra innings, but you hate to lose that bat in the middle of the lineup, so wait till he gets into scoring position.
0-1 here to Napoli. Napoli, slow start this year. Got robbed 3 times in the Oakland series. Coco Chris making some fantastic catches against him. Wilhelmsen's got him 0-2. Struck him out. Big time. The Big K. 2 down here in the 9th. You can see why Lloyd McClendon calls Tom Wilhelmsen the glue to the bullpen. 2nd inning of work. Saw what he did last year as a starter, a couple of times in emergency. Former closer has rebuilt his run here with the Mariners. Valuable member of that pen. Strike 1 to Victorino. Shane 2 for 3. Scored the Red Sox run in the 2nd inning. A 1-out single to right, stole 2nd and scored on the Bogarts 2-out triple. Center field to Ruggiano. See if the Mariners can win it here in the 9th. They're going to have the top of the order. Seth Smith, who tied it in the 6th with a home run, followed by Brad Miller and Robinson Cano.
Inning, and Seth Smith, he tied the game up with this swing. Can he do it again? Well, if he does, then we'll start Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines in about 2 minutes. We're going to keep Dan Wilson on for the postgame show. We're going to get you set for Felix's start as he tries to go to 7-0 on the season. We'll see how Bill Kruger does on his local Ford keys to the game, and we'll head inside the clubhouse, hear from the players after this one and the skipper as well. It's all coming up. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines, guys.
Angie, thank you very much. Festive atmosphere here at Safeco Field. Saw some good pitching tonight by this man, Clay Buchholz.
Clay really threw the ball well. 8 innings, 3 hits, just 3 hits off of him. Fortunately, one of them was a home run by Seth Smith to tie the ball game up. Didn't walk anybody a big key. 11 strikeouts through 102 pitches, 71 of those for strikes. Tommy Lane will take over. Mariners saw him last night. 2.89 ERA, 6 strikeouts and 9 1/3. Opponent's hitting .219 against him. He has yet to give up a home run, and Willie Bloomquist is going to pinch hit for Smith.
First time Willie facing Tommy Lane. Fedora night. See if they can send everybody home happy here. Willie, the veteran he is. Get it started immediately.
Well, Willie has good speed. We need to find a way to get on base. Brad Miller waiting on deck.
Blew him out, swinging early, knowing that the best pitch he might see might be that first one. Just hit down the line foul.
1-1 to Willie. Blomquist, Miller, and Cano. Rally caps in many forms. The 1-1. Hit down to Sandoval, foul ball. Great crowd, 39,477 with Felix on the mound tomorrow, looking for a sellout and expecting a sellout tomorrow. Felix has already stopped 2 4-game losing streaks for the Mariners. 1-2 in the dirt. Willie battling 2-2. Put it in play. Bogarts. The throw. Just got him 1 down.
Thought Willie had a chance to beat it out. You can see the throw is in the dirt, but it's in time as Napoli able to make the pick at first base.
Bogarts, I thought, really ranged to his left pretty well right there on that play. It looked like maybe he had a chance to go up the middle, but he got on it quick. Made a nice play.
Brad Miller 0 for 1 against Tommy Lane. Shows punt. Takes the ball. Sandoval was in a little bit at third. Napoli robbed him of a base hit in the first. Fly to left and a strikeout looking. Backhand, jump throw. He's safe. Winning runs aboard with 1 out in the ninth.
It's a good backhanded play by Bogarts again, and Miller with good speed, hustling as he always does out of the box. But Bogarts, it looked as if he wasn't able to get the handle right away. A little bit of a hesitation. And I think that might have been the difference in this play. You can see him on the backhanded play in our Alaska Supermo, and he goes for the exchange with the jump throw. He ends up holding it just right there. That little bit of a bobble, not able to get a lot on the throw, and Brad able to beat it out.
That was the difference in the play. Nice job to get to that one, but he just couldn't make the exchange cleanly. And that cost him. Miller able to beat it out. Give the Mariners a chance here with 1 out.
Cano, a double, a ground out, and a strikeout. Ball 1 to Robbie. Cano with that first inning double extended his current hitting streak to 4. Robbie, the 1-0. Bouncing ball, Napoli. Flip to Lane. Just got the foot on there. And there's 2 down. Not elegant, but they got the out.
We'll take a look at it. Napoli looks at second, no play there. Tommy Lane covering, throws it behind him, was able to find the base. And we'll see what John Farrell wants to do right here. He has a righty up in the pen. And he's going to go get him to pitch to Cruz.
So John Farrell going to match him up. Game on the line here with a winning run at second base against the American League's leading hitter, Nelson Cruz. The drama builds here at Safeco Field. Earlier today, let's take it back to the second inning. Here's a play the Mariners wish they had had back. Brad Miller catches the soft line drive. His throw hits Victorino. They would have had a double play and been out of the inning. And out later was the next batter. It was Bogart. And he triples, scoring Victorino for the Sox run. And now a chance with Cruz. Here in the ninth, 2 outs, the winning run at second, chance to win the game. And here's Seth Smith in the sixth. He ties it with a home run. His third of the season, a 1-1 ball game. That's where we are right now in the ninth. Cruz 1 for 8 against Junichi Tezawa.
1.59 ERA. 14 strikeouts in the 17 innings that he has worked. He's given up 3 home runs this year.
Breaking ball for strike.
Almost an automatic coming in out of the bullpen, throwing that first pitch, breaking ball.
Brad Miller plus speed. He's at second base. Cruz's last walk-off hit April 19th. That was that Sunday against the Rangers. Asks for time and gets it. Winning run at second. The 0-1 to Cruz. 0-1, 1-1. Crowd of 39,477. The majority Mariner fans, but a lot of vocal Red Sox fans here. 1-1 pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Cruz, the leading hitter in the American League, battling against Tazawa. He's got a good count, 2-1. Two and two. A lot of tumble in that pitch.
Pretty good. Just 84 miles an hour, and that's after he saw 95 with his fastball. You can see he's out in front of it.
Good late movement on that pitch as it got to the plate. Dropped hard.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Winning run at second. Tazawa with the pitch. Ball 3.
There we go, 3-2.
I don't think he'll give in to him. Yeah, first base open.
I can't imagine he's going to stay with that split. Try to get him to chase something down in the dirt. Leon out now just to discuss that, make sure they're on the same page.
Two nights of tight, taut baseball. Red Sox win 2-1 last night, 1-1 here, bottom 9. Winning run at second. Tazawa, the 3-2 pitch to Nelson Cruz. Left center field, ball game! Cruz has won it for the Mariners! 2-1 Seattle! Nelly Cruz gets the job done!
A little bit surprised that they tried to go at him, as Dave, as you mentioned, leading the league in hitting, home runs, was second in RBIs. Now he ties vote with that game-winning RBI, but what a first 6 weeks for Nelson Cruz, Dan.
Wow, he just continues to do it for the Mariners and deliver. He does tonight. Looked like a split that stayed in the zone, didn't get to the bottom of the zone, and Cruiser makes him pay. Big win for the Mariners, walk-off style.
How good is that guy? Leads the league in hitting, home runs, slugging, extra base hits, multi-hit games. What an incredibly valuable addition to the Seattle Mariners franchise. For Nelson Cruz's first hit of the night after striking out 3 times. But he wins the ball game here, 2-1. And this series is tied at a game apiece. And Dan, good hitting here by the power hitter.
Yeah, here's the pitch right there. You see it's a split, but it stays in the zone about knee high. He wanted that one down more out of the zone, and he left it in there, and Cruiser made him pay. That ball making it well into the gap. One hops the wall out there in left center field, no chance. And I'll tell you what, that's a big lift for the Mariners to turn the table on Boston with Felix going tomorrow night. There you see that drive. He knew it. About halfway down there, he knew it was past the left fielder. You see his reaction. And here comes the dugout. Nice win with the King going tomorrow.
That is something special as the Mariners even this series at a game apiece. Cruz beat the Rangers back on April 19th with a walk-off, and he wins it here tonight. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines starts right now. Jen Mueller with Nelson Cruz.
All right, let me catch up on what you missed in the last 20 seconds. Nelson Cruz actually asking for the water bath, saying it hurts a little bit more if you don't know it's coming. So here's what it looks like in full view. Is it really true? Does it hurt less? Is it less cold?
See, that's better. That's wet too. That one doesn't hurt, so.
And that one doesn't hurt either. It was a little wet, which makes me wonder what was in there, but that's another story. Hey, Nelson, that last at-bat, what are the challenges of getting ready for a new pitcher who's got such a difference in velocity from his off-speed to his fastball?
He's tough, you know. I think, in that situation, you want to get something to drive, and that was one of the pitches that I can handle.
Is it hard to stay patient and disciplined in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, they want to pitch you around, so you got to be careful and be patient, like you say.
Buchholz tonight was tough. You know that. What was he doing, and how was he using that cutter?
It was nasty. His cutters was breaking really late. He got his sinkers, his changeup, everything was working.
This team has been very good at one-run games. What kind of confidence does that give you to come out ahead in a game like this?
It's huge. I think, we got to really credit also to Hap. He threw the ball pretty well on the bullpen also. So it was a total win.
Certainly, and let's not forget that Nelson Cruz, the second best hitter in all of baseball for the month of May, a batting average over .435.
All right, Jen.